For generations, many Americans have believed that voting Democrat is the best way to support the middle class. This belief stems from the party's historical alignment with labor unions, social welfare programs, and policies aimed at reducing economic inequality. Democrats are often seen as the party of the working man. They have traditionally advocated for higher minimum wages, better working conditions, and stronger labor rights, which resonate deeply with blue-collar workers. They are perceived as champions of social programs and protectors of the little guy. From healthcare initiatives to food assistance programs, Democrats have pushed for policies that aim to provide a safety net for the most vulnerable in society. This belief is deeply ingrained in the fabric of American political thought. Over the decades, the Democratic Party has built a reputation as the defender of the underprivileged and the working class, a narrative that has been reinforced through countless campaigns and political movements. However, times change, and so do economic realities. The global economy has evolved, and with it, the challenges faced by the middle class have become more complex and multifaceted. What may have held true in the past may not necessarily be the case today. The economic landscape is constantly shifting, and policies that once worked may no longer be effective in addressing current issues. It's crucial to examine current economic data and policies to make informed decisions about which party truly benefits the middle class. Analyzing trends in employment, wages, and cost of living can provide a clearer picture of which policies are most effective. The American dream, the idea that anyone can achieve success through hard work and determination, is a cornerstone of American identity. This dream has inspired generations to strive for a better life, to seek opportunities, and to believe in the promise of upward mobility. But is this dream still attainable for the average American? With rising costs of living, stagnant wages, and increasing economic pressures, many are questioning whether the American dream is slipping out of reach. Are current economic policies helping or hindering the middle class in their pursuit of this dream? It's essential to scrutinize the impact of these policies on everyday lives to see if they are truly fostering an environment where the American dream can thrive. These are the questions we must ask ourselves as we navigate the complex landscape of American politics. Engaging in open and informed discussions can help us understand the real effects of political decisions on our communities. We must look beyond party loyalty and examine the facts to make choices that will lead to a brighter economic future for all Americans. By focusing on data and outcomes rather than rhetoric, we can work towards policies that genuinely support the middle class and uphold the American dream. The 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, a signature legislative achievement of the Trump administration, remains a subject of intense debate. This sweeping legislation aimed to overhaul the tax code, promising to simplify the tax system and stimulate economic growth. Proponents argue that the law spurred economic growth by reducing the tax burden on businesses and individuals. They believe that by lowering corporate tax rates, businesses would have more capital to invest in expansion, innovation, and job creation. They point to increased business investment and rising wages as evidence of the law's success. Supporters also highlight the reduction in unemployment rates and the boost in consumer spending as direct outcomes of the tax cuts. Opponents, however, contend that the tax cuts primarily benefited the wealthy and corporations, while doing little to help the middle class. They argue that the law disproportionately favored high-income earners and large corporations, leading to a widening gap between the rich and the poor. They argue that the law exacerbated income inequality and failed to deliver on its promise of widespread economic prosperity. Critics also point out that the increase in the federal deficit could have long-term negative effects on the economy. The data on the impact of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act is complex and open to interpretation. Various studies and reports offer differing conclusions, making it challenging to reach a consensus on the law's overall effectiveness. While some studies show that the law did lead to increased business investment and job creation, others suggest that these gains were modest and largely concentrated among higher-income earners. Small businesses, in particular, have had mixed experiences, with some benefiting from the tax cuts and others seeing little change. The debate over the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act highlights the challenges of evaluating the economic impact of complex legislation. It underscores the importance of considering both short-term and long-term effects, as well as the diverse experiences of different economic groups. It's essential to consider a wide range of data points and perspectives to form an informed opinion on the law's effectiveness. By examining the experiences of various stakeholders from large corporations to small businesses and individual taxpayers, we can better understand the multifaceted impact of this significant piece of legislation. Inflation has emerged as a significant concern for American consumers and policymakers alike. The Biden administration has faced criticism for its handling of inflation, with critics arguing that its policies have exacerbated rising prices. They point to factors such as increased government spending and supply chain disruptions as contributing to inflationary pressures. The administration, however, maintains that inflation is a global phenomenon driven by factors beyond its control, such as the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic and the war in Ukraine. They argue that their policies, such as the American Rescue Plan, were necessary to provide relief to struggling Americans and support the economic recovery. Regardless of the cause, inflation has had a tangible impact on the lives of ordinary Americans. Rising prices for essential goods and services, such as groceries, gasoline, and housing, have stretched household budgets thin, forcing many families to make difficult choices. Addressing inflation is crucial to ensuring the economic well-being of American families. Finding a path to price stability will require a multifaceted approach that addresses both supply-side constraints and demand-side pressures. Job growth is a key indicator of economic health. It reflects the overall vitality of the economy and the ability of businesses to expand and innovate. When businesses are hiring, it signals confidence in the economy and creates opportunities for workers. This hiring spree can lead to increased consumer spending, which in turn fuels further economic growth. However, job growth is not always evenly distributed. Some areas may see a boom in employment opportunities, while others struggle to keep up. Some states and regions may experience robust job growth while others lag behind. This disparity can be influenced by various factors, including local policies, industry presence, and workforce skills. Republican-led states have often touted their economic records, pointing to higher job growth rates as evidence of their pro-business policies. They highlight their achievements in creating a business-friendly environment. They argue that their focus on lower taxes, deregulation, and limited government intervention creates a more favorable environment for businesses to thrive and create jobs. This approach, they claim, leads to a more dynamic and competitive economy. Democrats, on the other hand, often emphasize the importance of investments in education, infrastructure, and social programs as a means of creating a more equitable and prosperous society. They believe that these investments are crucial for long-term economic stability. They argue that these investments pay dividends in the long run by creating a more skilled workforce and a stronger economy. By focusing on education and social programs, they aim to reduce inequality and provide opportunities for all citizens. The debate over the best approach to job creation is ongoing. Both sides present compelling arguments, and the effectiveness of their policies can vary depending on the specific economic context. While there is no one-size-fits-all solution, it's clear that policies that promote economic growth, encourage entrepreneurship, and invest in the workforce are essential for creating job opportunities for all Americans. A balanced approach that incorporates elements from both perspectives may offer the best path forward. Ultimately, the goal is to create a thriving economy that benefits everyone, regardless of their background or location. By fostering an environment where businesses can grow and workers can develop their skills, we can build a more inclusive and prosperous future for all.